everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of skirt pattern making with a Bunka method. Today we are creating flared skirt with gatherings. We can create this kind of a skirt from basic straight skirt or develop the pattern from the flared skirt. Since we have already made flared skirts in previous episodes, it's better and easier to create this kind of a skirt from a flared skirt. I want to choose the half circle skirt we have made before and start pattern making from there. So this is the half circle skirt we had. I can put a link in description for you to follow and create your skirt and bring it here. So let's see the diagram first. As you see, it has considered front and back same pattern, and it has done the pattern making only on the quarter of the pattern. First, you need to determine how much you want to add as gathering, then divide it by 4, and then divide your waistline and hemline to 4 equal parts. Draw the lines, and then you can slash and open those lines and give the gatherings you want between the lines. If you are doing pattern making with a hand, it's easy to draw the lines and just open the lines the amount you want, but in Claw we are using a Fullness Line Tool. I'm going to show you how to use this tool in Claw for giving the gatherings. I'm planning to give a 16 centimeters gathering to my waist, so when I divide it by 4, it gives me 4 centimeters. So this is the Fullness Line Tool. You can see the icon in Claw. First, I use white fabric for my pattern so that it's easier to see. Then I just get rid of extra parts of my pattern, because as I said, pattern making is done only on a quarter of the pieces. I right click on my front piece, remove the link editing, then I draw an internal line for the center front, and then I cut this line by right clicking and cut, and just delete the extra part. That's the only thing I need for the pattern making. And for the waistband, you can keep the waistband as is, because we don't change the waistband for this style. So for drawing the line, you can hold shift, click the center front line and side line, right click and distribute internal lines. You can distribute three of them. And then what I'm going to do is to remove the lines, but first add the points to the waistline and hemline. So I hold shift click on all of this line and extend and add points to the waistline and hemline. Then I delete my line. The reason I delete my lines is that the Fullness tool won't work on an internal line. I can show you an example why it doesn't work on an internal line. See, for example, let's see when I draw an internal line and I try to use the Fullness Line Tool, it won't work. This tool only works when you are choosing the outline of your pattern. So see, I choose the first point and second point and of waistline, and then at hem, then this box will appear. Here I can put the number, the amount I want to open on the waistline. On the second row, as you see on the distance moved, I put the 4 centimeters. So that's for the Fullness line, and at the other rows I don't put anything. I put 0 because I don't want to open my hemline. But if you want to open up your hemline, you can also put a number in the last row. So here again, on all points that I have created, I add the 4 centimeters opening, and also at the center front I will do that like the diagram. Now I need to reverse the direction and put on the end. The arrow direction will change so that you know where you are adding your fullness. The next step is to smooth out the waistline and hemline with a smooth curvature tool. Okay, now my pattern is ready, almost ready. I've just checked the angles and then the grain line. Make sure your grain line is vertical, is parallel to center front line. You can with the edit texture tool click on the grain line and then right click and then select the line to make it parallel to, and do as I did here. Just make sure your angles are 90 degrees at center front and center back, and your pattern is ready. I just copy the pattern for the back, then mark the center front line and center back line and name my pattern pieces. Now I want to mirror my pieces to have symmetrical piece for front and back. So I right click on center front line and center back line and mirror the piece with sewing. Now I can arrange my pieces around the avatar and start sewing. For the sewing, just know that when you are sewing the waistline to upper edge of your waist, now your waist on the skirt is longer, and that's what creates the gatherings. After I finish sewing all seams on the skirt, I want to adjust the gathering on my waistline. So as I said, the waist measurement on the skirt is longer. The way you create the elastic or the gathering look is that you need to go to the waistline and on the property editor section, change the elastic property of your waistline. So with the edit pattern tool, I select the waistline. I go to the property editor section, and I first check the waistband measurement, how much I want it to be. So right now my waistband is 19.4 and my waistline is 35.4. I want my waistline to be 19.4, so I can put the 19.4 in a segment length, and as you see the ratio will become 55%, which means that my waist is reduced to 55%. And the red lines I just added are the shearing. Shearings are the look of small pleats that will be created when you have elasticated waistband. So you can adjust them in the property editor by shearing, turn it on, and just put the spaces for the shearing that you want. Or for example, I want my small pleats to be 1 cm apart. I put 1 cm there, and I add the height of the shearing 8 centimeters. I want my pleats to be approximately 8 centimeters long, so that's the shearing we want on lower part of our waist. For the fabric, I just use a twill fabric which has a closer drape to my photo, and our pattern is done. Just unfreeze my waistband, and this is the final look of our skirt. Okay, now that we know how to create a simple flared skirt with gathering, now we can put a step forward and create a more complicated skirt with yoke and gatherings below the yoke. Something like the image you see here. It has this skirt has a V-shaped yoke and has gathering below the yoke line. As you see in the image, the waistline is sitting very high on the model, so we should consider adding to our waistband height at the sides. I brought our half circle skirt again. I think we can use it as our basic pattern. We can change the length of a skirt if we want, but I'm happy with the current length. I just apply another fabric to this so that the check pattern is not confusing us. This one is like organic cotton I found in Clo Library. For the waistband, I would consider that this waistband would have 2 side seam and 1 closure at center back. So I'm changing the waistband to follow my desired style. I'm just cutting the waistband at center front line and center back line. For the front, I just mirror it at center front because I don't want to have a seam at center front. This is my front waistband now. I just name it front waistband. And for the back piece, I just mirror it with the Ctrl D function, which will create a separate piece but symmetrical and identical to the first back waistband I had. So I removed the seam because I want to create new seams. Now on your avatar, the first thing you do, determine where your waistline should sit. So I want it to be 3 centimeters higher than what already is. So with the basic circumference tool, you can draw a line where you want your waistline to be. And as you see, it's 3 centimeters above the current waistline. So what I do, I'll offset my waistband pieces 3 centimeters later. But another point is that waistline is smaller at that position. It's 75.8 and we need 1 centimeter ease. When we add it up together, we see that this waist is smaller than what we have right now. So if I offset my waistband pieces 3 centimeters above and sew it back, waist will be loose. That's why we need to remove the extra amount from upper edge of our waistband. So I'm just adding the 3 centimeters above the waistline on my waistband pieces. And I'm checking the upper edge of my waist measurement. Its total is 78.4. So as you see, it is I'm subtracting it from the 76.4 we had and divided it by 4, which means that amount I need to reduce from my upper edge of waistband. Because pieces are symmetrical, I only need to do it at one side. I'm adding 7 centimeters to the center front line of my yoke because the yoke has the V shape in our image. This 7 centimeters should be reduced from our skirt front later. But for now, I'm just focusing on the yoke. I want to make sure the fit of my yoke is good, so that's why I'm freezing my bottom pieces of skirt. I rearrange the yoke pieces around my avatar and put them in correct position. Then I sew the side seams and center back. As you see, our yoke is sitting a bit high. I will adjust it by the hand tool, but one reason is that although our upper edge has good fit, we have adjusted the measurement, the bottom edge might be a bit tight on our avatar, and that's why it's sitting a bit higher than the red line we had determined before. That's why I'm adding 1 cm to the bottom of yoke line at front and back. This one we can adjust later because we are adding gathering to the bottom of skirt, and this might pull the yoke down even further later. So I think 1 cm is good for now, and I'm doing just that right now, and just make sure the side seam on my yoke line are aligned and have same measurements. Now for the bottom part of our skirt, I need only 1/2 of front and 1/2 of the back. That's why I removed the link editing from both pieces by right clicking and choosing the removing linked editing, and then I draw the center front line with internal polygon tool and center back line and cut the pattern from those lines. Just delete the parts that I don't need. Then I just name them front and back. And you remember when we said we need to reduce that 7 centimeter from center front line? I'm just doing that on the front panel. And for the back, I just removed the curve point from my waistline because the waistline should be straight. The yoke line should be straight. Now I need to add the gathering below the waistline. I first compare the measurements of the yoke line and the waistline. The waistline on the skirt is a little bit longer. That's why I want to add only 12 centimeters this time for the gathering. With the similar method we have done on the first skirt, I just divide the waistline and hemline to 4 equal parts with the split tool, and with the Fullness Line Tool I create the gatherings. The process is similar to what we have done for previous skirt. First adding the gatherings, then smoothing the waistline and hemline, fixing the grain line, and we do it for front and back. Now we just mirror the pieces and sew the yoke line to waistline of the skirt and create the elasticated look with giving the elastic property to our waistline on skirts. And I will add the same amount of shirring I had given the first skirt we made here. For the elastic, just make sure your waistline should become equal to bottom edge of your yoke. So you need to put that measurement in the segment line for elastic. So here you see on the back, I'm putting 20.1 on the elastic segment of my waistline so that it will fit the bottom edge of my yoke. And I'm adding the shirring 1 centimeter apart and 8 centimeters long. So pattern making is done for this skirt. I just rearrange pieces around my avatar and simulate. Now I'm checking the fit on my skirt. As you see, there was a bubble on bottom of my yoke line, and that is because, as I mentioned before, bottom edge of yoke might be a bit tight. We can add a little bit more to our front yoke line because we see this bubble happening at the front yoke. As I said, upper edge was okay. We have already added the ease, but we can make it a little bit rounder because it's hiking up. Usually waistline should be a little bit curvy like so. So I'm moving down center front about 1 cm and then adjust the curve. I also adding a little bit more to the bottom edge of yoke, 1 cm. I need to also adjust the elastic measurement because before we had it differently. Now the lower edge of our yoke measurement has changed, so we need to adjust that. Right now it's 22.77, so we need to add that to our skirt upper edge to make sure our elastic percentage is correct. As you see, the bubble is gone now, so the fit has improved. I'm just checking the side seam of my yoke measurements to make sure they have same measurement and are aligned. I also check the hemline to make sure side seams are sitting at same level, and hemline is at balance. If needed, you can add a little bit to the center front line because it looks sitting a bit high. So based on your fabric and the volume and your style, you can do some small adjustment to improve the fit. Okay, our pattern making is almost done. I'm just adding some decorative buttons by going to the button section in Object Browser and choose default button or change it based on your design. And with the button tool, just put it on the center front, and with the edit button tool, you can change the position and adjust it. So our skirt is complete. She can wear it with a top that we had made before. I hope you have found this tutorial useful and liked it. Thank you for watching this video with me, and see you next Saturday with more skirt tutorials.